last question.
Thank you. Yeah, look, I mean, Israel's a strong ally of ours, and part of it is in that part of the world. It's a nasty part of the world. They're the only country that will be allied with us through thick and thin. They're the only country in that part of the world that is democratic and that shares our values. And that's the thing. It's a unique country given that we're a country founded on the Judeo-Christian tradition. So you go back and you look, and has anyone here ever been to Israel? Okay. So if you're able to get, so we went because when I was a U.S. congressman, they do trips. I did launch a trade mission as governor. So I've been many, many times. But the first time you ever go, you can actually go, you can open up a Bible, you could read, and you can be right there, right where you see. And so that piece of, that Holy Land is something that's really meaningful to not just the United States, but all of Western civilization, because that was the foundation of everything that's happened since then. So in that sense, I think it's something that it is a special relationship between us and Israel. And if you ever go and look at some of the holy sites, if Israel was not in control of those sites, you would not be able to exercise religious freedom and probably see. And in fact, Bethlehem is actually in one of the Palestinian Arab controlled areas. So if you go to Bethlehem, I mean, it's honestly, I was really upset. It's a pigsty. Trash everywhere. It was nasty. They have a church where, I think it's where they think Christ was born. They built this beautiful church. So they have it there and everything, and you go in. Then you walk out, and they built this massive mosque towering over it, because that's just kind of what they do. So all these key sites, if Israel was not a sovereign over them, I don't know that they would even last if not. So I think they play an important role as a democracy in the Middle East, but also caretaker of some of the most important history known to man. Now, the relationship does not need to mean just an open checkbook, because honestly, they're not even asking for that. What they want more than anything is what Biden will not do, is to just have the president stand up there and say, we are not going to sit there and expect Israel to run the risk of a second Holocaust. Hamas wants to kill every Jew in Israel. That is wrong. And we would never, as Americans, accept someone right on our border that wanted to annihilate our entire country. We would never allow that. So they have every right to deal with the threat, because it's not just a threat over small things. It's a threat over the very survival of Israel, and it's a whether they will be able to prevent a second Holocaust. So what we say is, use your judgment, defend your people, and deal with the threat. What you don't do is second guess. What you don't do is go out and virtue signal to the United Nations. What you don't do is behind the scenes try to kneecap them. That is the most important thing than any type of money or anything else that they need. We just need moral clarity here. And the fact of the matter is, it is not an equivalence between a Hamas terrorist and an Israeli soldier who's just defending the people. That's just, we've got to be very clear on that.
I'll just add one thing that I know the governor agrees with. You don't keep writing a blank check to the United Nations and funding dollars going to Hamas.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. We will, we'll be able to defund the United Nations when I'm president. I mean, this is just ridiculous. The anti-Semitism is absurd. And we're not going to do it. And that's the thing. I mean, I think that the amount of money that we just fritter away as a country, we can't do this anymore. We've got huge problems here. We have our own border that is open. And you can't even control your own country, and you're sending money to the United Nations. So we've got to start putting the American people first. And I think that ultimately, that's ultimately a deciding point for this election. Because I think, honestly, you have me representing kind of the bold colors of putting the American people first, standing for our conservative values. Then I think you have a lot of the other candidates. It's all about, pale pastels. It's about warmed over corporatism, and it's about putting the American people last. And that will not work, and we can't allow that to continue happening in this country. So the good news about that is you don't just got to sit around and throw your shoe at the TV screen and get upset and frustrated for everything that's going on. You actually have the power in your hands to do something about it on Monday night. So can we get this done? Can you go out there and bring it home? Let's do it. God bless you guys. Thank you. Thank you.